Good morning, everyone, respected sir, and all my dear friends. My name is Akash, and today my topic of the presentation is modernization of armed forces. चाणक्य once said, शास्त्र को छोड़ोगे तो संस्कृति को खो दोगे और शस्त्र का त्याग करोगे तो राष्ट्र को खो दोगे. So we can clearly see that these lines reflects how armed forces plays a key role in our national security. Modernization of armed force means to equip all three services, Army, Navy, Air Force, with modern technology and modern state of art weapons and equipment. We know that in February 2022, Russia-Ukraine war started. And after the war, the key lessons which were bring during the race in a dialogue by Indian Army Chief, former Indian Army Chief General Manoj Pandey, was that conventional are, conventional warfare are no longer war of 30 or 20 days. They are more than of years, and in such warfares countries can't be dependent on other nation for the equipment. And there are a lot of things you might have seen in the videos where drones were used by the Russian army to target Ukrainian army. And many people don't know that Ukrainian army used, when their communication got burst by the Russian army, they took help of Elon Musk Starlinks to target the Russian army by identifying their location and targeting them with their firepower of artillery. If we take example of last year, 7 October, Hamas attack on Israel, we all know that Israel is known for their technology, and we have clearly seen that last week Israel attacked on Hezbollah organization by drones and UAV, and also they burst thousand pages which was used by them for the communication. So without firing a bullet, without using their manpower, they were able to kill their enemy. So this is how a smart nation fights. So now, if I would talk about India's context, former Army Chief General Manoj Pandey said that 2023 is the year of Indian Army's transformation, and he said that Indian Army's transformation will take place in five pillars. First is optimization of organization and restructure. Second is HR management, human resource management. Third, technology. Fourth, jointness and integration. Fifth, to refining organization by continuously need of future demands. So there are three problems which our country is facing while modernizing the army. First is defense budget. Second, technical gaps. Third, of indigenization. So we all know that our defense budget of this year was 6 lakh 50 crore, which is 75 billion dollar, and 4 lakh crore is going on revenue expenditure, which is in pension and salary bills, and also in the maintenance of equipments. So government came out with the lot of innovative ideas, like they introduced Agnipath scheme so that they can cut salaries and pension, and also they have started reviewing veterans medical pension, so that the one who is taking medical pension without of any serious illness, so they can't take such things. So we all know that Atmanirbhar Bharat, Army Chief clearly mentioned that indigenization is the key to modernization, and we know that earlier we were the largest importer of defense equipment, but now we are among top 10 exporter of defense equipment in the world. We know that Indian Navy have its indigenization INS Vikrant aircraft carrier, INS Harriet, and Project 75, which is ongoing, in which we will have a 6 Scorpion class submarine. If I talk about Indian Air Force, we have our own helicopter Dhruv, Perchant, and also Tejas, and we have imported Rafale also. And when we talk about army, last year there was Defense Expo, in which they have shown future battle infantry soldier who was equipped with highly indigenization equipments. We also know that we have started making artillery guns also, ATGS and Dhanush, which are long range artillery weapons, and the BrahMos missile system we have recently sold our BrahMos missile system to Philippines, which was of net worth of 6,000 crore. So we can clearly see how indigenization is important for modernization. Now I will come to the restructure and force optimization of armed forces. The Agnipath scheme will help army to make it linear and young profile of the army. And when I talk about restructure, so we all know that there is a concept going on in the army of theaterization, where we will have a different theater, like Western theater for Western adversary Pakistan, Eastern theater for dealing China, and also maritime theater to secure our Indian Ocean and maritime borders. We all know that former Army Chief Bipin Rawat once said that we are fighting 2.5 war, one with Pakistan, one with China, and point 0.5 with proxy war. And the recent turmoil in Bangladesh clearly shows that China may use them as an ally to counter us. So continuously shifting of geopolitics clearly shows that we need a modernized army. In also restructure, I want to mention that earlier it was seen that defense secretary used to be a he used to be a bureaucrat, he or she used to be a bureaucrat, but it was found that earlier they were serving in Ministry of Agriculture and suddenly they are appointed as a defense secretary. And then, as Esco Wilde said, who needs cynic who know price of everything but value of nothing. So armed forces came with the idea of chief of defense staff, who will act as a bridge between armed forces and defense ministry. And we all know that there are a lot of restructure in the organization, like they have integrated defense staff, defense cyber agency, defense space agency, and soon we are going to see theaterization. Also, armed forces have allowed women in combat role. We have seen last year in the pass out parade of OTA Chennai, there were 4 girls who joined artillery. It's a combat arm. Indian Air Force have also allowed women in combat role. If there will be a enemy aircraft in artillery, they will go with the aircraft to defend our border. And we all know that Agnipath scheme have allowed women in Air Force for their special forces in Marcos and Garud. Although we didn't have any women till now, but soon we are going to see it. Sorry. And if I talk about infrastructure for border area is very important, because if I will talk about China, in northeast area, the borders of China have made 6-lane highway which can be used easily by them during war as an airstrip. Also, they have made more than 1,000 border villages which can be used as a bunker also. But what we are saying in India, we are saying that there are more than 100 villages in Uttarakhand who have been as a ghost town. Even so, that's why Ministry of Home Affairs came with the idea of vibrant village, and Mada was the first village under this scheme, so that the presence of villages can be used to counter China, so that they don't think in such way. China should not think in such way that these villages are now ghost village, we can occupy it. You have seen in last month video where shepherds of Ladakh were fighting with Chinese army. So we can see that the presence of locals is very much important. And now BRO, Border Road Organization, is playing very key role in infrastructure. We know that we have Atal Tunnel, which is playing strategic role. We have Sailor Tunnel, and also now India is going to build highway which will be connecting all the seven sister states, so that the infrastructure of armed forces uh, get improved, and we are able to take our heavy artilleries and heavy machines to border. We know that Char Dham project was initiative by government because it was very strategically important for the borders of Uttarakhand, which are with China. And you all know that I also want to mention about the hierarchy restructure, that Chief of Defense Staff and also National Security Advisor Ajit Doval have made new National Security Council, which he have took a concept from the America, where he will be heading the National Security Committee as an NSA, and there will be 3 deputy NSA, and one will be military advisor. One deputy NSA will be military advisor. So we can clearly see that they are continuously creating new roles, so that there can't be any gap between government and armed forces. And we also know that recently National Security Council have a maritime advisor. Earlier we don't have any maritime advisor. So now we have a maritime advisor, so that our maritime borders can be secured, because earlier we have seen lot of threats during maritime route. at the end of the conclusion, I want to tell that modernization of armed forces is very important and dynamic process, and it is an ongoing process. And at the end, I want to tell you one of the statement which was quoted by one of the UPSC member, Lieutenant General Raj Shukla, to the India cadets that you generation might see war in upcoming year, maybe 2026 or 2047. So there should not be any regret that we did not do enough, and we did not change. And Boston Russell once said that organizations shape man, they are good at doing these things, but it is the character and leadership of alumni which transform organization. Thank you.
Akash, when we talk about modernization of armed forces, it is expected that the focus is both on acquiring the latest military hardware from the international market as also to manufacture them indigenously. How do you think we shall be able to acquire this fine balance?
Yes, sir. Like recently, we have seen that AK-203 rifle is from Russia, and it will be jointly manufactured by India, Russia both. And also, like last year, there was a news where Tata and England's defense company will be manufacturing Airbus for the Indian Air Force in Vadodara. And also, there are new MOU which are going to soon signed by between India and America to share the aircraft engine technology with India, so that we can manufacture it jointly with them.
Good morning, Akash. You talked about the modernization. Does it really means we are going to reduce the manpower or the base of armed forces?
Thank you so much, Santosh, for asking this question. Yeah, soon we are going to see a linear army, because former Army Chief General Manoj Mukund Narbani clearly mentioned in his Chanakya dialogue that soon we will be seeing a linear army, and he compared it with a lot of things. Like he said that earlier we used to use ponies and horse to equip our equipment on the high altitude area, but now all these things are replaced by helicopters and drones. Soon we can optimize the and reduce the manpower, and we can shift it with the drones to keep surveillance on our adversary nations.
Thank you very much.